What is your view on the future financing of the EU?
Well, it's a complex issue because the whole European Union is at the crossroads and has to face many big questions. Certainly, some of those were raised by the vote in the United Kingdom in terms of the Brexit. But I think the overall perspective, at least my view, where the financing has to move, is to create a budget which would be more flexible, which can better respond to the new challenges that Europe is facing, especially in terms of migration, in terms of economic growth and competitiveness, and also in terms of providing more security, both external and internal, for the EU citizens.
You've said before that you would like to see the money spent, the budget used in ways that add to the competitiveness of Europe. How would you do this? What would be your priority in a future EU budget?
Well, I think we have to focus on those parts of the EU budget. And again, just to make clear that the EU budget, in terms of the expenditure, it's only 2% of the overall EU expenditures. So it's a relatively small part of the overall financial flows in the European Union. But I think where we need to focus EU money is on those areas where Europe can provide added value, which in terms of competitiveness for me is especially helping with the innovation, driving research and development, bringing the best minds of Europe in terms of technology, in terms of digital economy together, but also creating infrastructure which would be European, meaning cross-border infrastructure for telecommunications, for digitization, for energy, and for those areas where Europe can work together and create a better value for its citizens.
We always hear that states say they want added value, but once they get to the negotiating table, they're looking for the best case for their country. And you, as a politician, you will be working for the best deal for Slovakia. Do you think that finance ministers, economic ministers can overcome their need for financial return from the EU budget?
That's a good point. And you are right in the sense that we all talk about the European added value, but when we come to the negotiating tables, everybody takes a national position. And I think we need a much more discussion and much better alignment of views on what this added value of Europe is. And I think this was one of the problems in the UK, that average people, normal people if I call it, in UK did not understand exactly what this added value of Europe is. And that's why many of them voted in the way they did. So we need a discussion about this, and we need to make sure that in those areas where this European added value is provided and is clear and is very understandable to citizens, that national leaders are able to, I would say, sacrifice the national interests for the interests of Europe.
Finally, Brexit. Has it had an impact on this debate? You've mentioned some ways in which it could, but there might be less money in the budget. Is that going to focus minds?
Well, currently, as you know, we are in the situation where the UK government has not initiated yet the Article 50. So it's still a hypothetical, let's say, theoretical issue. Certainly, when looking at the end of the current multi-annual financial framework, which is towards the 2020, we have to think about the possibility that the UK will not be part of the budget. So some preliminary discussions, but rather in informal way, are certainly taking place. But we will start dealing with this in a specific way in terms of money, specific numbers for the budget only once the formal step is taken.